Hello everyone, and welcome to Shedding the Bitch Radio, where we tend to dialogue, debate, and discuss all the angst, attitudes, or negative mindsets that you might have in your life that could be preventing you or blocking you from pursuing the goals and the dreams that you have for yourself. And what we want to do and what I want to help you with is to shed those, what I call bitches, those attitudes and negative mindsets, and help you get some clarity around what you can do and what steps you can take in order to move that much closer to your goals and dreams. So I would love for you to join me live on the call. You can go to Blog Talk Radio and blogtalkradio.com /shedding the bitch, and you can call in at 1-818-572-2190. I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat that. 1-818-572-2910. You can chat with us as well at Blog Talk Radio /shedding the bitch, and I'll keep an eye out for the anyone that might want to chat with me. And at the same time, at any point, you can always go to sheddingthebitch.com and leave some comments or some questions that you might have in regards to how can you discover and shed your bitch so you can shift and create all the riches in life that you're looking for. So today I'm really excited because I am coming to you live from Las Vegas. And I am out in Henderson actually, so I'm off the strip, far away from the hustle and bustle of the casinos and the clubs and whatnot. But I'm here at CEO Space, which is a entrepreneurial forum, is all I can call it. But there's about 400 entrepreneurs out here right now, and it'll build up to probably a good 1,000 to 1,200 by the end of the week. And we spend anywhere from 3 to 10 days working together to strategize and collaborate and support each other in whatever business aspirations that we have, small or large. And at the same time, there's other professionals here that help us and coach us and provide consulting to us the 3 to 10 days that we're here. What's important about that is the fact that I am here launching my book, Shedding the Corporate Bitch, here this week at CEO Space. And I'm so excited about that because, one, I found the concept for my book and my story and the ability to tell my story here at CEO Space in July of 2009. And therefore, I thought it was important to take advantage of the fact that I'd be back this week. And my books have just arrived. I'm so excited. And therefore, I will be having one of my Shedding the Bitch parties on Friday night. And it'll be kind of a thank you to the community here in the CEO Space because they have been instrumental in bringing me along for the past year and a half and really understanding the opportunities that we might have with this book, with this story, with Shedding the Bitch as a whole. And they knew how important it was for me to kind of leverage my trials and tribulations, I'll say, in my personal and business life to help other individuals. And therefore, they've helped me bring it to reality. And so I'm so excited. And Friday night will be our Shedding the Bitch party. And I wish you all could be here, but stay tuned. It will be coming to a city near you over the coming months. And I'll look forward to being able to meet you in person and or at least here on the radio each and every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. So yes, it's 9 a.m. I've been up actually probably since about 4 a.m. Only because with the time change I haven't caught up to the West Coast yet, so I'm still waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning. But that's okay, because you also know that I have the Shedding the Weight Bitch Challenge going on, and that is my goal and objective to lose 25 pounds before April 23rd. And I've lost 11 so far, so yay! And for those of you, I have actually several people on Facebook following me and joining in on this challenge. So Becky, if you're out there, and Linda and anyone else that will be kind of joining in on this on this challenge. I'm looking forward to the next, what we have about maybe 40 days left before April 23rd. So 11 pounds gone and released, another 14 to go, and I am ensuring that I take advantage even while I'm here in Vegas and I'm getting up so early in the morning to get some workouts in. So, as an FYI, if you're interested at all, there is a website that a friend of mine, Wayne, had suggested that I use for my workouts. They're just a YouTube channel that has exercise programs, and it's called bodyrocktv.com. Now, the fact that Wayne was using this website, I thought, oh, okay, it must be, some attractive women on this site in order for him to be using it for his own exercise routines. So when I started looking at the videos Sunday when I got into town, yes, I certainly understand why this channel gets hundreds of thousands of hits. And because the women, or this one particular woman that I seem to come across all the time, maybe it's her channel, I'm not sure. But yes, she's from Prague, she's petite, and she wears scantily clothes. So for those men out there that may be listening, it's a great channel for you, obviously. But at the same time, it is hard, kick butt workouts. So for you women, ignoring the petite little figure that's in front of you, she does walk you through some pretty intense workouts, and I've only done 2 so far. At the same time, she has challenged every muscle and all my willpower, and yet in 10 or 15, 20-minute workouts, I'm just burnt out. And so I was very glad that I was up bright and early this morning getting that out of the way before I came on to the radio, and at the same time I do videotape these. So I didn't want you to see me, if you watch my radio show on video, I didn't want you to see me sweating and all red and all, all exhausted and huffing and puffing from that workout, because it was quite the workout. So that's bodyrocktv.com for those of you who would be interested if you travel or if you just need some really hard workouts. And they're very short. Some of her videos are 3 minutes long from what I can tell, and then the one I did this morning was the longest, and it was 9 minutes and something. And yet her program, actually, you can extend it to a 20-minute workout. So a great option for those of you who might be road warriors like myself and don't have an opportunity to get to a gym while you travel. So anyway, so I want to go back to why I'm here in Vegas, and the fact that I am launching my book here, but more importantly, Shedding the Corporate Bitch is really about my story and my struggle and how I lived for a good many years with an attitude and with a negative mindset, more so of a bitchy mindset, and how that really kind of, eventually will and does wreak havoc on yourself personally and spiritually, emotionally, let alone professionally. Now, no one ever told me, and hasn't since, at my job and in my 12-year organization that I worked with, that had anything to do with my little pink slip, is it? And yet, at the same time, when you really look at it, I have to be accountable to the fact that certainly a lot of changes were going on in the organization. However, when I started really looking at how I was treating people, how I was acting out and sometimes lashing out, that I had to admit to myself that was part of, it gave them an opportunity to make a layoff easier and easy for themselves. So they might not have told me, but it probably helped them justify letting me go. So the reason why I bring that up is because a year and a half after I left, and I'm soul searching and digging and going through this shedding and this transformation and realizing, what I was like for so many years and how freeing it was to let go of all that angst and attitude and negative mindset and feelings of superiority and ego and greed and the desire to have, you know, the money and the big house and the nice car that I lived for so many years. It was so liberating that when I came here to CEO Space in July of '09, it was very eye-opening to walk into a professional environment, because this is I call it a forum. I don't know what else to call it, because it's not a conference, it's not a training workshop. It's, you know, 3 to 10 days of in-depth collaboration and negotiation, strategizing, prospecting. You have an opportunity to really mentor and coach and help other people. As a matter of fact, one of their mantras here at CEO Space is to help others before you help yourself. Put aside your agenda while you're here and just simply ask 2 little questions of anyone that you run into and you meet for the first time or second, third, or fourth. And that is, what are you working on and what do you need next? So they really foster a very non-competitive, collaborative, free-spirited type of an environment for all the professionals that are here and wanting and needing to find a non-threatening, non-competitive, non-selfish, if that's such a phrase, environment to really, really put themselves out there and take the risks that they need to take in order to follow the dream or the passion or the, you know, I could break it down very basically and say the business idea that they have that hopefully is their passion and their dream, and really feel safe in regards to, you know, admitting to their fears, admitting to their lack of skills, admitting to their needs, their wants, and finding those resources and those skills and that support in a safe, collaborative environment. So those 2 questions that are asked every day, you know, you get to the point by the end of the week you're just exhausted from somebody asking you to talk about you, which, you know, like me, if you're a radio personality or a radio host, you know, you like to talk. And anyone who denies they like to talk, and they do things like a radio or public speaking, they're fooling themselves. But anyway, so, you know, it is such a freeing experience to come to a professional environment and have that cooperation and that collaboration. And that is certainly what they want to foster, and what is fostered in a matter of minutes upon arriving. Whether you show up on Friday or you show up 7 days from then, when a lot of the graduates who have been here time and time again, they come back for the long weekend as opposed to the full 10 or 11 day program. So I just felt it was important that I kind of gave back, and I said thank you, and I took advantage of being in a collaborative and safe environment, because I'll be honest with you, I need to tell you this right now, I love the idea that I wrote this book. I'm very proud of myself that I've stepped out and put my story in all its warts in writing for the public to see. But I am getting nervous and I'm getting a little anxious about the idea that people are actually going to read this. And they are going to, you know, also comment or critique or whatever word you want to use, positive or negative, about my story. Now, will I survive anyone making bad comments about it? Certainly. I mean, I wrote it for me, didn't intend for it to get as viral and as out there as it has, with a number of people, especially from this group of anywhere from 500 to 1,200 that will be here all week, who are very excited about the fact that it's finally available and finally going to be out there. And it will be actually online and out in the bookstores in the June through August time period. But right now I got the early releases so I can share and start promoting the book and its story and its meaning now. So it's very exciting. And while I was here just over the last couple of days, I got in on Sunday. I also met another lovely young lady, Tiffany Chanel Crawford. And she has a business very much aligned with mine called The Corporate Goddess. So you can go to thecorporategoddess.com and check out what she's all about and what she's trying to achieve as well. And what I found very interesting about what she's trying to do is Tiffany probably is in her late 20s, early 30s. I'll apologize, Tiffany, if you're actually younger than that. But and she recognized she's an industrial engineer, and yet she's gone out on her own now over the last several years and formed the Corporate Goddess, and really has found her passion for wanting to help women, especially young women between the ages of 25 to 40, help them leverage themselves in whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. And what I mean by that, it's not coming as clearly as I'd like it to, but what I mean by that is she recognized when she was working in corporate and an industrial engineer for being a young woman that it's not necessarily easy for women to use their femininity and to use their softness and their nurturing in a business corporate environment. And very much so on the other end, like myself, I wasn't quite honestly, I guess, secure enough at the time in my 20s to say, well, I don't care what anybody else thinks about that. Instead, I chose to man up, as they say, and to become a bitch and very aggressive and very in your face, because I didn't feel secure enough in my own femininity to leverage it and not excuse it, but actually to take advantage of it in a business environment. And Tiffany has seen that there's a lot of situations in business and in life. Her website will cover everything from business to fashion to life and style and a number of other subjects. And she really wants to empower women to embrace that femininity and to embrace the strength that they have in just being a woman. And so it was very, very cool that while she was here over the weekend, she's been in since Friday, a number of people, as she was introducing herself to people that have been here along with her, the first thing they would say is, oh, you have to meet Bernadette Boas, the bitch, which is what I'm referred to here, in a loving, loving way. And you need to meet her because she's doing something very similar to what it is that you're doing, and with a different slant or a different approach, because I go at it with kind of an in-your-face approach to the fact that, look, it's not getting you anywhere. And I think anyone listening would agree, it doesn't get anyone anywhere when all they're doing is lashing out on life. And they're lashing out on people, and they're demeaning people, and they're disrespecting and belittling and teasing and bullying and whatever else someone can do to really kind of cut someone else down. That individual who is doing that is not doing anything beneficial or putting anything of value into the world, because their insecurities and their lack of confidence and their uncertainties of who they truly are not well known, and they're not aware of those insecurities and that lack of confidence and lack of skill and talent, and therefore they're lashing out on other people. And it's just not right. And Tiffany, though she does it, she approaches it not necessarily from experiences that she had similar to mine of where she was a bitch. She never claimed that. But at the same time, she also recognizes, though, that women do tend to take on personas or pretend to be people that they're not, or women that they're not, and are wearing masks in order to impress, or in order to get that promotion, or in order to fit in. And she just wants to kind of cut them off at the knees before they get that far to take on that kind of nasty, man up, bitchy attitude, and educate them and inform them in a very sassy way. She's definitely a spitfire, and she's definitely a ball of fire, very similar to myself. And I think she'll do great things with the Corporate Goddess. And if you're interested at all in seeing what she is doing, go to thecorporategoddess.com. So that's been fun so far this week here in Vegas, and I look forward to kind of finding out who else will be joining us. It's Tuesday. A lot more people will start coming in today and tomorrow when the official forum kicks off. And then this weekend, as of Thursday night, it will really blossom into probably, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'll have close to 1,000 people here. That and a lot of them will be grads that have been here for a long time, like myself, and are aware of shedding the corporate bitch. And, excuse me. And I will have an opportunity Friday night to thank them for all their support and for all their help. This past year and a half, it was hard to write the book and divulge kind of how nasty of an individual I was. And yet at the same time, because I have shedded so much of that angst and attitude that I used to have, I found it difficult to write a lot of what I needed to, because I didn't want to go back to that mindset and mentality. So what I want to kind of share with you, or provide you from a tip perspective or lessons learned perspective, is what in your life is causing you to live in fear and causing you to live in anxiety or sadness or depression, or maybe you're just haven't found that oomph or that gusto to kind of push forward and really go and pursue a particular dream or goal, small or big, that you might have for yourself. When I set out to write my book, I guess I was in a state of mind that I was ready to do it, and therefore it wasn't scary to me to go ahead and write. And plus, no one was going to be reading it while I was writing it. And yet I did start getting some fear built up and some apprehension and some insecurity as I started writing it. And I was realizing that in order to tell my story and to tell it truthfully, I would have to hurt some other people, and that wasn't going to be easy. But at the same time, I knew that it was going to help and serve a lot of other people, and therefore I had to kind of put my own fears or insecurities aside and just forge forward. And fortunately, I had folks like my editor, Nicole Basmore, who really helped me to kind of dig deep and be open and be willing to share and to throw myself under the bus, so to speak, in order to help other people. So I won't say that I've never, or I still don't run into pangs of fear, insecurity, uncertainty, anxiety, angst, attitude, negative mindset. I won't say that. However, what I have learned over the past couple years especially is I can find ways, and I can find affirmations, I can find mindsets, I can find visuals, I can find people, I can find exercises that will help me ground myself back to the positive and back to the fearlessness and back to the confidence and back to the certainty of what it is that I'm doing. And not to say that it's easy in any respect. We all get to those points where we question ourselves and we doubt ourselves and we are unsure of whether or not we're capable of doing something. And yet I know for myself, I have found that I have questioned my capabilities time and time again, I've proved myself wrong. that I was totally capable and able to do it. So I hope that you can find those resources, find those people, find those tips, have those affirmations, have those experiences, so you can go get yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually and physically in a space that you are willing to feel it's important enough of a dream or a goal that you're going to put aside that fear or that apprehension or that uncertainty or that negative belief system that's running through your head, and actually take a step, whether it's one small step or 10 huge steps, in order to move forward and achieve your goals. One interesting thought I just had, and this comes from a business friend of mine who has a program called Mental Mapping. His name is Scott Goodnight. You can go to scottgoodnight.com. And Scott really focuses on this mental map, and it's a long story and we don't have all that time. But one of the things that he asks his members to do is to kind of lay out your hero stories. And they're stories that are those great experiences that you've had, those accomplishments, those achievements, those successes, those wins, you know, the things that made you feel great, let alone have everyone else kind of, you know, proclaim your greatness, so to speak. And they're called hero stories. And they're used to help you realize and believe in yourself that as hard as life can be, you have made some great achievements, had some great successes, accomplished some small or big great things. And therefore, we have to hold on to those things. For some reason, we all want to be negative, or we all want to be the devil's advocate, because it's much easier to kind of face the fear subliminally before it happens, because then you think, okay, when it happens, it won't be so bad because I've already kind of processed that as negativity or as a negative belief system. And yet, when the bad thing happens, you can never prepare for it. So instead, what he really kind of advocates is write out some hero stories for yourself. Those things that you've done really well, you've accomplished, you're proud of yourself about, someone else is proud of you, someone, you know, proclaimed your greatness, and write them out, and then pay attention to them and look back at them when you do have those pangs of fear or insecurity or doubt or uncertainty, and really kind of relate to the fact that you have taken chances, taken risks, faced your fears before, and you can do it again and be just as successful. So I'm going to be focusing on that this week because, like I said, I am so excited that I'm going to be able to celebrate and share with the group out here and then with all of you as this book gets, you know, published and widespread. Yet at the same time, I'm nervous and anxious about people actually, you know, flicking through pages of my life and my story, and that includes even my family, you know, really kind of having them for the first time read this story, because they're a part of the story, obviously, and some things are written about me that they don't even know about. And so there's kind of this queasy feeling in my stomach about how they'll interpret it and how they'll react to it. But at the same time, I have to do it. I feel it's that important in order to help any woman or man that could be struggling with their own fears, their own doubts, their own bitches. And what I'd like to do is help you through this story and through this radio and other means to shed all that angst and attitude so you can accomplish the goals, the dreams, and the riches that you want in life. So this is Bernadette Boas, and I would love for you to join me again every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time on Shedding the Bitch Radio, right here at Blog Talk Radio. And join in on the chat or share your story online at www.sheddingthebitch.com, where you can also pick up my book, Shedding the Corporate Bitch. And so I'll look forward to hearing from you, hearing your stories, and providing some insights and tips as I can, and as some experts that will be coming on to the show will over the coming weeks. So everyone have a fabulous, fabulous week, and we'll talk to you next week. This is Bernadette Boas checking out with Shedding the Bitch Radio. Thanks, everyone. Thanks.